All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Sunday SuperTruck Series here at iRacing Superspeedway for a scheduled distance of 70 laps. Drivers right now on track putting down their qualifying lap to see where they will start in tonight's event. And we are also now on race number 7 of 8, if I am not mistaken. I'm going to double check that indeed. And this is indeed race number 7 of 8. So after tonight, we will have one race left. There we go. I'll get it right eventually. Here to finish up our regular season before we hit to that 4-race playoff. And so right now, I'm going to get some nice graphics up here in the future. Hopefully talk to some of my guys like a Boomer Logan and company. But right now, Gabe Butler dominating right now, leading in the points. A 29-point lead over Kevin Freeze. Bud Steele sitting third. Eric Laurie, Ryan Decker are top 5. Then running out the top 10, we have Jacob Lee, Jim Brooks, Jack Walls, Charles Johnson, and Austin Call will be our top 10. And I believe the plan is to take the top 16 in the points. And so including in that group is Rick Sanchez, Dean Wilkinson, Frank Ranger Jr., Jason Bogart, and then a tie for 16th right now between Bob Fitzgerald and Nicholas Wing. And right now, just on the outside looking in is Hondo Longmire, Carl Lingle, as well as Jeremy Osborne. So there's a few drivers that are near the window but aren't quite there yet. Unfortunately, I don't believe I see Carl or Jeremy in the server, if I'm not mistaken. I know Hondo is here tonight, though. So that's going to be, I think, basically Hondo's going to be one that needs to try to make a push to see if he can get into that top 16 for that 4-race playoff. But we'll see. I'll say a lot of racing here to go tonight again. 70 laps scheduled, 1 fast repair available for all the drivers, 3 attempts of a green light checkered finish should it come to that. And of course, a very quick track. These trucks going to be going 230, 240, and then a very challenging pit road entry. Kind of almost I don't know how you feel. Say Matt Wagner here in the booth with me, but Matt, I kind of feel like it's kind of a Dover on steroids. Is kind of my description of the way you kind of drop down into the turn and you bounce out of it. It's kind of my best way of describing this place.
This track here, as my personal standpoint, is probably the easiest one to hold a line for me. Out of all the tracks. I know it sounds kind of weird with these steep bankings, but for me, since you can't really rescan this track because it's a fake, fictional track. It's smooth all the way around, so you barely have any bumps in it, so your car doesn't slide all over the place. So yeah, but as you can say, it's like a 3-mile do-over. I totally agree with you.
But it is going to be fun tonight to see what they have in store for us. And say we got a handful of drivers right now. Looks like about 13 have put a lap in, so we'll see. I know a few drivers are maybe trying to opt to start a little further towards the back, maybe try to play it safe. But it's also going to be fun to see kind of what the strategies are going to be for some of these guys. It's pretty much, I heard, about 20 laps on fuel for the fuel mileage, so it should be a 3-stop race. Basically, you can kind of run it 3 ways if you want to, or you can maybe try to short pit early and then pit late. Or I guess, actually, yeah, just short pit all 3 of them, where you pit maybe around lap 10 and then do 20 or 30 and 50. Yeah, math is hard. Or you pit lap 20, 40, and then you pit around lap 60 with about 10 to go to make that final pit stop. And of course, maybe you try to split it up a little bit, maybe split it evenly, maybe shorten your fueling on a couple stops. But this track and Atlanta are pretty much the 2 tracks where you will pretty much guarantee to lose this lap if you pit under green. So to me, I think most drivers are going to try to go that 20-plus lap margin to just see how far they can go on fuel.
Well, being it's a 3-mile track, I think it's kind of hard to lose that. But anyway, I think qualifying's over.
Yep, qualifying has just completed here, so let's go ahead and
look at that time. Oh my goodness.
Pull up that starting grid here, and it is going to be Gabe Butler on the pole. That is something we've never expected to see happen in the history of iRacing or the Area 51 Racing League. Gabe Butler, though, actually tied, with Peter DeBorgia there right next to him. It went to the tens of the thousands there, Matt. Then you got Austin Call, Rick Sanchez, Eric Laurie rounds out our top 5. Then Bud Steele, Patrick Groover, Jack Walls, Jason Bogart, Jacob Lee in the top 10. Hunter Longmire right there with his teammate there, Jacob, in 11th. Frank Ranger Jr. in 12th. We'll continue to run down the order here. We've got Nick Wing, Nathan Warner, Seth Groover. Matt's not actually racing tonight, but he's going to tentatively be 16th. However, Matt, you're going to give a favor here to Seth Groover and DL11 because that's going to give them a pit, an opening on pit entry and pit exit for those two trucks. So
really?
Seth and DL, they're going to enjoy that. And then, Jim Brooks there, 18th. Bob Fitzgerald 19th. Todd Siebel's 20th. And Dean Wilkinson going to start 21st here tonight. And I do believe, if I heard correctly, I think the 6 of Bud Steele, he was actually going to be opting to start from pit road tonight in that 6 truck. I think he's kind of giving himself a self-imposed penalty, it sounds like, from a previous race. It sounds like kind of felt guilty about a situation that happened, and there's Area 51 doesn't have any like official like start from the pits or penalties in that sort. But he's kind of just doing one. I feel like as one of the admins, I think he's trying to hold himself almost like to a higher standard. So it looks like you'll see at least the 6 truck on pit road to start the race. We'll see I see Patrick still sitting on pit road as well. I'm not sure if that's planned or not, however. And Patrick has indeed gridded, so that does leave just Bud Steele. So he'll start from the pits here tonight, almost like an F1 race. For those that maybe watch the Coda race, so starting from pit road, they do it here as well. As the pace truck rolls off, drivers are going to roll off as well. And again, this is actually even just a tough track here to roll out of pit road. I've seen drivers actually spin out a little bit before getting onto the racing surface, so they got to be careful in multiple places here.
Just turn hard left and start on the flat apron.
Yeah,
you try to climb up the hill. I actually spun it once. Guilty.
it's a big climb there, even on the straightaways. You're not wrong there, Matt. And actually, and that's something also to mention too, is if you watch closely on these trucks on the starts and the restarts, you're gonna see that truck. I've always noticed when I get on the gas here, like the truck kind of just pulls a little bit to the right when as soon as you stomp on the throttle. Just because of the banking, it just kind of wants to turn that truck around a little bit. So that is definitely something to have to keep an eye on for the starts and restarts as well, especially I think if they start on older tires potentially with some pit strategy. However, this is definitely the place, Matt. These trucks, you want to be. I feel like this is definitely a track where on the starts and restarts, it's definitely preferred to be on the bottom line here. Just because, again, the shorter distance, you're still building up speed, and I've always noticed it's usually the first two rows can usually clear that outside row. So I kind of expect to see Austin Call be able to clear Peter DeBorgia here out of turn 2 with Gabe Butler, just due to the distance and the banking, everything like that. So I know like Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, it's a little more even, but I think here at iRacing, you're going to definitely see these guys want to be on the inside on these restarts and the start as well. But we'll see. 70 laps is our scheduled distance. Pace truck is in. Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia leading the field to the green. Just waiting for that restart zone before they can go. And green flag is out, and we are down and away. Second to last race of the regular season. Gabe Butler going to lead the field here into turn 1. Also saw there just for a split second there, Bud Steele rolling out of pit road. So he's going to get going as well. He'll lose the draft, so he's going to have to hope for some help with the yellow, which you never want to have to do, but we'll see how that goes for him as well. As look at a quick move there, the 54, Patrick Groover straight to the top side here. He does not want to roll the bottom.
I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Wonder if he's going to try to keep an eye out for Seth here in that 32 truck, but haven't seen Seth yet. But won't be long before we find him. There he is.
He's on the outside.
I was saying, it looks like, we got trouble.
Did he save it? Oh, God.
Big wreck here.
And his brother got into it. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Number of trucks involved. This is definitely a big one, number 1 for sure. Yeah, huge hits there. Eric Laurie, that truck is destroyed. Looks like Honda Longmire as well. You can see a bunch of trucks here without the front clips of them. And Bud Steele, we talked about him starting from the pits. That was everything he could have hoped for and more there for not being involved in that incident. So let's go back. We'll take a look here, Matt. But that's a heartbreaker for a bunch of trucks here. I think we've had a handful have to take a tow.
You know what? I congratulate Bud Steele for missing that wreck, starting in the pits.
No, it definitely worked out well for him. Let's take a better look.
Well for him.
So let's find that the 54 truck of Patrick Gruber. It looks like it starts right around him. And actually, I think it might be Eric Laurie that just catches the apron here. You can see right there, we're trying to find yeah, there you go. We'll kind of get a look on the angle here, and you can see, yeah, the truck bounces. I think he catches the apron, that washes up, catches the right or left rear, I'm sorry, of the 54. That catches the right rear of the 64, which then gets him into the 510 of Rick Sanchez. Just the front two trucks able to get through initially. Jason Bogart, you see sneak by there on the inside. And then it looks like for a split second, Hondo Longmire was going to clear, but then he gets clipped in the right rear there by the 64, and then the 56 is in it as well. Actually, I'm watching the 51. Does Jim know? He gets a little bit of nose damage there from the 32. But just a massive, massive wreck here. And actually looks like Jim actually gets a pretty good shot there afterwards from Hondo. Pretty much, yeah, this is pretty much a full field wreck here. I do think Todd Siebels gets through clean, as well as potentially Dean Wilkinson. But other than pretty much, I'd say Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia, and then, yeah, I think Jason Bogart and Jacob Lee, that's pretty much it who got through that. And it looks like pretty much everybody except for Jacob Lee and Bud Steele are on pit road. So again, so we got some wonderful sponsors, so we're going to step away real quickly. Got to kind of brag about them a little bit, and we'll be right back here on the One to Go, so stay tuned.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, we are back, and man, that was big, and we talked about it, Matt. The one fast repair, talked about that pre-race, and so basically, a lot of trucks just had to burn that fast repair, so they got to try to keep it clean the rest of the night here. Interesting strategy though. Jacob Lee did not pit at all there. Bud Steele, I believe, did not pit either. I believe his is showing that kind of, since he started from the pit lane, it's kind of showing him there. And then Bob Fitzgerald and Nathan Warner, they did pit, I believe, as well. So I'm just trying to double check the timing and scoring and everything for those. However, I do believe those guys did pit the first time, and I think what we're looking at is from pretty much Gabe Butler on back. I believe all of these drivers pitted on the one to go as well. So you're going to have about 3 rows of double file and then a whole bunch of single file. And I'm just looking right now at this DL Lemon. He's starting towards the front here, and that truck does not have a front clip still. So I'm a little nervous about this restart now too. Need to give a shout out to the Mrs. Muff. I'll say she is shouting out from the YouTube's courtesy of her husband. So hope you are both doing well. And I say, unfortunately, had a big one here early. Matt, we're about to get back to green, though. It's going to be Jacob Lee leading away. Third place truck has no front clip on the front of it. I'm worried about that truck. I'm kind of going to try to focus on him as we go back to green in 28. I don't know if he's aware of what he's got in front of him in that 56 truck. And we also have to try to watch that lucky dog battle because we got 15th to 20th trapped a lap down. And they're already going after it here, tooth and nail. Look at the 54-32 working the top.
Woo. Making some bold moves early. Bold moves.
And I'm going to say the surprise of those so far to me is that DL Lemon truck is not really... I mean, he's not holding on super well, but he's not hurting as bad as I really thought he would be. I thought he would drop like a rock there. But yeah, right now, though, I think that's what we're seeing, though. The 54 was trying to fight to stay as the first truck one down, as he's right now sitting in the second spot behind our race leader, Jacob Lee. But yeah, that's going to be the big story, I think, right now, Matt, is it's going to be the lucky dog battle because, like I said, we've got 5 trucks here. Patrick Gruber, Austin Call, Nick Wing, Hondo Longmire, Frank Ranger Jr., and Eric Laurie.
4 wide. Still 4 wide. Wow.
Oh, it's getting tight. They just got to 3, and I think, again, I have a feeling a handful of these guys don't know what some of the damage that these guys have.
Well, we're starting to see DL Lemon fall back just a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have what he needs, but up here, though, Bud Steele, he's got help from Jack Walls. He's going to try to hold on to the point. And actually, I was going to say he's trying to take the lead from the 54, but no, the 54 is trying to get his lap back, and oh, that was inches from disaster there between the 54. And that's what you see, though. The 64 Austin Call, again, he's also trying to get his lap back. The 28 of Nick Wing and the Exide truck, they're on the outside third line. They're trying to get their lap back. This is getting very dicey. There, you guys are squeezing each other on the straightaways here. We're on lap 7 of 70, and we're racing like we got less than 7 to go here.
Yeah, I know it. Wow. I saw cars into each other. I don't know if it was net code or a little bit of connection on my end there.
But right now, though, so right now as it sits, it's Austin Call leading, but basically he's trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap here. Same thing for Nick Wing there in the 28 behind him. The middle lane is pretty much all lead lap trucks here at the moment. As soon as I say that, though, you see the 54. He's trying to jump up with him now. And this is intriguing, and honestly, I kind of like to be back right where Jason Bogart is. I want to be behind all these guys.
Yeah, I want behind to solve this mess. I don't want to get caught up in everybody else's mess. Oh, Jason Bogart.
Oh, there's a contact.
Oh. That's going to bring out yellow.
Caution is out, and we've got a number of trucks again involved. I think it started between the 6 and the 510. But more trucks involved. I saw Eric Laurie with the piece of it. I saw the 54 as well. I think Rick Sanchez already had straight and taken a tow back to pit road. Oh my goodness, these guys are just, the intensity is just through the roof right now on this one. But yeah. Let's go back, and like I said, I think the initial contact was the 6 and the 510. You can already see the smoke here, so we're gonna back it down. Let's back it up here a little bit. Focus on Rick, and I'm going to try to watch the angle here on entries. Speed up just a little bit here as we get to the entry. And kind of they're going for the same real estate there. I mean, they kind of make the initial contact right around the seam, so I don't know if I can really put that on the 6. And I mean, we're not really trying to point the blame out, but I know a lot of people want to know kind of how it happened, but kind of just looked like 2 trucks went for the same real estate. Unfortunately, the 510 takes a big hit from Eric Laurie there. You see the 37 involved as well as Nathan Warner. And then the 28 was also involved there, Nick Wing. It looks like Hondo gets another piece of it. Jason Bogart also, it looks like wasn't maybe as bad as it could have been, but he catches the outside wall actually a fair bit there as well. So again, a big multi-truck crash here, unfortunately. And then those trucks that were kind of cruising in the back, though, I was watching Jim Brooks. He was staying way back. I think he got through unscathed. And you see there, Todd Siebels, Dean Wilkinson, they were way, way back to be safe. So they did what they had to do to avoid that incident as well. So we're heading back to under caution here. I think pit road's just about to open. Question mark will be, of course, the lucky dog right now. If he wasn't involved, it would be the 54 Patrick Gruber. So we'll see. It looks like he is staying up towards the top here to stay and get his lap back. I see a handful of other trucks here. I think they're going to try to take the wave around on the one to go. So Gabe Butler, he's going to lead the field onto pit road. along with Peter DeBorgia and Jacob Lee. And actually, now look at this, though. I see the 64 of Austin Call. He's actually moving forward here. It might be Austin that got the wave around there. Maybe there was some contact involved from that 54. And so far, nobody's passing the pace truck yet. So we're still trying to find out who it is. And actually, it's going to be Frank Ranger Jr. He gets the lucky dog. He's going to wave by here, the pace truck. He's going to get back on the lead lap. But what Austin Call's going to do here, Nick Wing and Patrick Groover, they're just going to take the wave around here on the one to go and get back the old-fashioned way. So we'll step away one more time here, back under yellow. Not much to report here after that yellow, but we'll stay tuned and we'll be back here shortly.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, we are back. And again, looks like 4 trucks went ahead and pitted with the first time, and then everybody else decided to top off on the one to go. And Matt, this, this, we got to stay clean and green here, but at this point, I think we're right on the absolute edge of a 2-stop race to the finish. So I wonder if that is also in the minds of these guys that are topping off. Because I'm also watching some of these guys; they're not in a big hurry to get towards to the field here yet. So I'm thinking a lot of fuel savings going on under yellow as much as they can.
Yeah. Would you say the lap was by 2021?
Yeah, about 20 laps on fuel. I mean, right now, let's say we're on lap 11. So we at this point we have 60 to go. So in theory, basically go 20 and 20 or 20 laps pit, and then you're good to go to the end. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
It depends how hard they run. We'll see.
Yes, that's exactly true. So we're going to have 2 rows double file, and then we're going to have a big single file line behind. Actually, it looks like 3 rows. So you see actually some lap trucks having to kind of line up here with some of these guys. So it's going to be a little jumbled once again. Again, we had a handful of trucks take the wave around. Hondo Longmire and Eric Laurie are still trapped 1 down. As we get back under green here, Bud Steele with a big push there from Seth Groover. Right now, Jacob Lee kind of off on his own. You do see on the plus side, though, that 56 truck, though, he does have a front clip again, though, so that's great news for him. So he should be able to have a much better performing truck for DL Lemon. But yeah, right now the Lucky Dog battle is currently Hondo Longmire leading Eric Laurie. But again, still a long ways to go. And Eric has definitely got some significant damage still lingering in that truck. So I think for Hondo now, he just needs to play it safe and kind of take care of his stuff. And it looks like Rick Sanchez, unfortunately, has retired after his incident, as well as right now 37 of Nathan Warner just sitting on pit road. So I think right now probably about 18 trucks on the racetrack still in contention. As right now you see kind of a train on the inside here with Peter DeBorgia and Gabe Butler here trying to roll the outside line.
I was trying to see if Eric Laurie used his fast repair already, or else
I think he did on that first wreck because it was.
Okay.
I think a lot of drivers had to use their fast repair on that first incident. So
Okay.
that was honestly why I was surprised, as well as the aggression we were seeing on that second stint. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of these guys, they're out of fast repairs. Truth be told, I really think a lot of them don't have any more. But two that do, but probably don't plan on using them, are these two right here, the 88 and the 40s. They clear the inside line. They're going to jump 1-2. DL Lemon just about able to clear Bud Steele, but won't quite be able to. He's going to still hold that outside line as Jacob Lee's going to try to pick up him there. You see Hondo Longmire. He's going to try to work with his teammate there in that 21 truck. Say Hondo sporting the holiday scheme here with the Halloween. Say he was going to throw the full on orange truck, and I told him no, he's got to go. What's everybody's love hate candy? I'm always candy corn. So he's going full candy corn on that 43 truck. So you can see the white fading to the orange to the yellow. So it's a love and hate candy, and Hondo's repping the Halloween scheme beautifully on his Toyota.
I am not a fan of the candy corn. It actually gives me migraines.
I don't think I've ever. I'm afraid to try candy corn, if that makes any sense. But I don't believe I've actually tried it. But I feel like it's just something that I wouldn't like. But I'll have to keep an open mind. So maybe this Halloween will be the year I actually try it. But right now, though, Matt, I think everybody's kind of settled down now. They're like, you know what? That was a little bit too hectic these first two runs. Let's back it down a little notch.
Yeah.
But I think it's also due to the fact that 88 and the 40, they're going to be making everybody's life very difficult because those two work extremely well together. Very good pushers, very good leader, as well as kind of running the lanes. And also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as well as so you can see the great looking paint scheme on that number 40 truck of Peter DeBorge. I'm going to try to get a better look off the back of Gabe Butler. And actually, no, all we're going to see is the rear deck lid of Gabe Butler's truck. But I believe Peter DeBorge say he works very closely with the Extra Life Foundation with Children's Charity. And so he does a lot of great stuff. A lot of the paint schemes you see are courtesy of Peter. And I say, looks like, if I'm seeing it right, it looks like 15th anniversary of Extra Life. So I know he'll be doing some fun streams for that to try to raise money for them. So definitely check out what he's able to do. Really appreciate everything that he's done. And most of his paint schemes, he just asks for donations to Extra Life. That's where the money goes. So he doesn't pocket anything. It all goes straight to there. I know he's got one in the works for you, Matt. So it's pretty cool to see what Peter's able to do.
Yeah, and I'm not going to share it. it's already done, and I've already made my donation to the Extra Life Foundation just for Peter, and you'll see it next season.
Looking forward to it. And again, that's what we love too is a lot of guys will just go to Peter to get a paint scheme. That way they can also help and find a way to support that. But right now, though, we got about a five lead lap truck breakaway here, 6 trucks including Hondo. Because right now, Jim Brooks here, he's working hard with Jason Bogart. Jason is pushing Jim for all he is worth right now. Jack Wall's trying to also stay on here, but they're starting to break away this pack a little bit here, Matt. We're starting to spread out a fair bit. And right now, I think Jim and Jason, I think they're going to do enough to get back up to them. But I'm a little nervous about Jack and Patrick and company because I think they're too far back right now. So I think it's going to turn it into a 7 truck pack here as the 51 and the 10 do get back up there. And I wonder if we talked about that field number. I wonder if these guys were backing down their pace, trying to close there between the Groover brothers and Bob Fitzgerald. I wonder if they're trying to back the pace down a little bit just to try to make sure they had the field numbers to the end. But these guys here, they're definitely off the draft here. Frank Ranger Jr., Dean Wilkinson, Todd Siebels, and Austin Call. So kind of interesting to see field working around some lap traffic. And surprising to see Gabe and Peter here to actually split up a little bit. And that's giving a big push here to Hondo and that 21 of Jacob Lee.
It could be another contributing factor that some of these cars are damaged. So they don't have a big group of cars to run with. When they had that slow restart, they just kind of lost the draft. And it's going to be rough for guys like Eric Laurie and company. It's going to be hard to make up that lap. Hopefully, then you're going to need a caution, and it's going to take a lot.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going to need the yellow, and pretty much the split has happened. So now it is a 7 truck pack here. 8 if you include Hondo, like I mentioned, who's one lap down, but right now the only truck, I believe, the only truck one down as they run. But then they got about 4 seconds now to Patrick and Seth Groover. So basically, the second pack's going to have to really get assembled here, Matt, to try to close that 4-second gap back to Peter and Gabe before we get to that pit stop window, which, again, should be probably in about 10 more laps, maybe about 11 or 12, actually, just because, again, the fact that they pitted around lap 11, topped off on the one to go. And, again, I feel like 20 laps is probably feasible on fuel, so I think this could be a 2-stop strategy to the end, pending it, of course, staying green. So, yeah, so I kind of like what these guys up front are doing here, and then it's just going to be who can kind of find the way to get around some of these guys. I'm looking at the groups that we have right now. I expect the 48 and the 88 to stay kind of locked together. The 6 truck, I think, will definitely work with the 51 of Jim Brooks. I know they work well together. DL Lemon and Jason Bogart, to me, are kind of the outliers. I don't know if they have any formal official teammates in this pack. And then, of course, Hondo Longmire and the 21 of Jacob Lee, I know they'll work together as well. And, of course, right now they're trying to get Hondo's lap back, but then if it comes down to a race win, I could definitely see Hondo pushing Jacob to try to get him the W. But, again, we're in lap 20. We're talking about stuff at lap 70, so we got plenty of time for things to shake out. And you know what we're going to do, Matt? We're going to pull up lap times instead of pulling up the gaps because we got to see what these guys are actually doing here lap-wise. That way we can kind of compare. As you see, the leaders ran at 47.34. But then you go to Patrick and Seth Groover, and it was a 48.59, over a second slower right now. And I wonder if maybe these trucks are, possibly one or two of these trucks are lingering damage in this main pack, or is it the fact that you can kind of see the separation between the first two to the third and the fourth trucks. If you go up to this main pack, look how tightly organized they are. I think that might be the difference of why this pack is still stretching its legs, almost 7 seconds now of a difference.
Yeah, I was looking at both the Gruber's trucks, and we're coming on the pit road.
Yeah, late entry here on the pit road, and
yo, man, almighty!
Patrick doing everything he can to hold on to that thing.
Olsen brothers had a moment.
So I'm a little intrigued by this, though, because I don't think that's going to really gain them anything on the pit stop cycle side of things. Unless maybe they do have a fast spur. They said, okay, you know what, we have to do something different and maybe do the fast spur now, because I believe they're gonna get put a lap down here with this pit stop cycle. And again, I feel like it's still too early in the window. I think you got to go to lap 30 at least to try to make it on that 2-stop strategy that we're just talking about. Basically pitting at lap 30 and lap 50. To try to make it. And say Seth is multitasking here. He just chimed in saying Patrick has damage, so that definitely looks like that might be playing a role. And I think that's why we see these two working together. And yeah, here they come out of pit road, and you can see. I actually feel like Seth's truck looked like it had a little bit of damage. It may have just been the angle, but so unfortunately that's going to really also hurt that second pack because they were working hard there to try to get back up to the front, and after they bailed off there, it's over 10 seconds now between the 40 and the now leading truck of the 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. So, it looks like Jack Walls has taken over the pushing abilities, as well as you see Dean Wilkins and Todd Siebels. They've really squeezed in too. So, we'll go back to the gap here because last time by they were over a second and a half slower than this lead pack here. And I mean, Gabe is it looks like they've got magnets on the backs of these trucks the way they're locked onto each other. So you know what we're going to do, Matt? We're going to pull up our driver info. We're going to run through the field here, starting with our race leader, Peter DeBorgia there. Started in second, Curly first. Behind him, Gabe Butler started first, currently running in second. Don't think we'll see any craziness out of those guys working together. Third place, you got Bud Steele again. Started from the pits. Did qualify, though, officially in the 6th position, but right now just kind of cruise control here. Got that quick yellow to really bring him back into the mix right off the bat. And then in fourth, the 51 of Jim Brooks, currently our highest climber, plus 14 from his starting position. Then you got Jacob Lee here, plus 5. Started 10th, running in 5th in that number 21 truck. Then Jason Bogart. Jim and Jason, last week's birthday boys, they are both in this main pack, so that's what they want to see here tonight. Sitting in a good spot here in that main pack. And then DL Lemon right now rounding out our top 7 in this lead pack. And then we'll jump again over 10 seconds back to that Pennzoil machine of Jack Walls in 8th, being pushed by Dean Wilkinson in the Cheerwine Ford. I really like the side chrome numbers on that 55. But Dean Wilkinson in 9th. And then Todd Siebel's rounding out our top 10 with the 45 truck. And right behind Todd, you got Bob Fitzgerald, in the 08 truck. He is in 11th. And then Frank Ranger Jr. is the last truck in this lead pack on the lead lap here, sitting in 12th. And then you go to Hondo Longmire again, the first truck 1 lap down in the 13th spot. Just hoping for the luck of the candy corn to get him back onto the lead lap. And then we switch over to our Groover brothers there. You got Patrick right now leading Seth again. They are also now 1 lap down with their pit strategy, trying to get some damage repaired to their various M trucks. They got the Monster M and the McDonald's M sitting 14th and 15th. And then Austin Call rounding out our top 16, I believe is currently the last truck 1 lap down. And then it looks like early retirements, unfortunately, for Nick Wing. We mentioned Rick Sanchez already, and it looks like Eric Laurie and Nathan Warner still extend pit stops for those 2 trucks as well. So that is our running order as we go. And as we get to that point, because, Matt, we are about 3 laps away, I believe, from green flag pit stops. So that's going to be the next turning point in this race. And I think we're going to see is most likely pretty much a 7-truck pack hit pit road. I think all these guys are going to want to try to stay together on pit road. Unless maybe Bud and Jim and company, maybe they can stretch an extra lap to see if they can do a little bit of work and maybe make life a little harder for Peter and Gabe. So we'll see what the strategy is here soon.
So what I've seen out of Gabe and Peter, pretty much every race I've been in with them, they have flawless pit stops pretty much. So
someone's doing the commentator's curse.
Hey. Hey. Hey, but I'm being serious. So, some of these guys are gonna have to have at least a flawless pit stop, no mistakes whatsoever. None.
I'm 100% agreement. Yeah, you're gonna have to nail your pit. And the thing is, it's not even just the pit entry. It's all 3 are really difficult here at iRacing Superspeedway. The pit entry, you're going 230, 240 miles an hour. Then you got to get down to, I believe it's 65. But then you also have to get from 65 to your pit stall without overshooting it, which is a challenge in itself. And then this is a very difficult pit road exit as well. So there's a lot of challenges here at this track. So there's a lot of opportunities to make mistakes. And actually, surprisingly, DL11, he's on pit road now. I thought he could have gone further. That's not what you want to see from the 56 truck, unfortunately. You want him to go further. Actually, here's Jack Walls. He's ducking off as well, and he's bringing Frank Ranger Jr. with him. I wonder if these guys are maybe on different fuel strategies potentially, if they maybe didn't pit on one of the yellows that we may have not caught. But
yeah, I remember DL Lemon, I think he stayed out for during that last caution.
Oh, yeah, that would do it. And unfortunately, I think that's, again, if we stay green, which, I mean, it does have a bit of a green look to it, I feel like that's going to be an issue for those guys. I think that's going to cost them that extra pit stop. So that's going to shorten this lead pack here down to 7 trucks with that one peeling off. Oh, Hondo Longmire's into a little earlier, same thing. Yeah. And
come on, guys.
Oh, and that's Hondo. I think he had to pit there because, again, he did the wave around. No, he didn't take the wave around. Yeah, so I'm again surprised.
He stood out with DL Lemon.
Yeah, so this is intriguing. I'm a little surprised that Hondo came in there as well. I figure he should have had the same fuel as the other guys, but so basically now this lead pack is just lead lap drivers from Peter DeBorgia to Jason Bogart. But that said, though, we're on lap 30, coming to lap 31, so I think this would be about the time when probably kind of do the fake hand out the window, if you will, to let people know, hey, it's probably about time for us to hop in here.
Yeah, I'm getting my whole screen is lighting up with pit in. So here we go.
Yep, so this is attempt number 1, green flag pit stop so far. Everybody's looking like they're doing a good job making it in. That's a really great job by all of these top 6 trucks here coming in together. You also see the 64 Austin Call hopping in with them. And then here comes Dean Wilkinson with Todd Siebels as well as Bob Fitzgerald. They're going to jump on the pit road, the 3 of them. And that will be, again, that's the cycle right now. So that's going to be all these guys that made that, they're making the green flag pit stop. Now, again, it's getting into your pit stall. Don't overshoot. I didn't see any trucks back up there, so I'm saying so far a net win for all of these trucks. Now it's 2 tires, 4 tires, fuel only. Austin Call, he's trying to do a quick stop here. And the one that's dragging back, Jason Bogart, long pit stop for him. It looks like he took either more fuel or had to take 4 tires, and that's 3 extra seconds. That's going to cost him the draft here as Austin Carlson try to lead these guys out of pit road. But again, very treacherous pit exit here.
It's interesting strategy. I think it's actually the right call. Austin Call is pitted with the leaders here.
Yeah, no, if he has enough truck to hold the draft, this is a great call by that 64 because he needs all he can get. And you can see he's going to move up to let them by.
Oh, he's going to move over. Why?
He doesn't. I don't think he has the top end, so I think he's going to try to see if he can maybe tag onto the back of Jim Brooks. But the heartbreaker back here, though, Jason Bogart, he's going to lose this draft. And so that's going to turn that 6-truck draft into a 5-truck draft. And I'm looking for Hondo Longmire again. He pitted that one lap earlier. And he's just now coming out of turn number 4, so he's lost his pack as well. That's how important the draft is in pitting with friends, unfortunately. And so that's going to really bite. Yeah, DL's about 10 seconds back of Jason Bogart, who's now 5 seconds and growing off of Jim. So basically what's going to happen is Jason Bogart, DL Lemon, they're going to kind of get swallowed up here by this pack of Bob Fitzgerald, Todd Siebels, and Dean Wilkinson here momentarily. So right now, Matt, so basically, again, should we stay green, we're looking at one more pit stop to the end. I believe everybody can make it on one more stop that pitted at lap 30. So basically, this pack here from 1st to 6th, and then 8th, 9th, and 10th. I don't think DL Lemon can make it to the end on fuel. And then I don't think those other guys, either Jock Walls, for instance, and Honda Longwire and company.
Well, during that pit cycle, it was able to put the Groovers back on the lead, but for momentarily until they have to pit again.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. So I say the Groovers are rooting for a yellow. They definitely would love to see a caution and bring them back into this. Honda would love to see a caution as well. But now you guys start worrying. I say they're starting to kind of pull this pack apart here, though, up front, because, I mean, look at this. Yeah. I think Bud Steele's trying to roll back to pick up Jim Brooks here because Jim kind of fell off these guys a bit. He's about 4/10 off the main pack. And so I think basically Bud is trying to kind of be that rope, if you will, to the 51 because, again, he's going to want some help here at the end. You see Eric Laurie back on track after damage repairs to his 071. And so I think Bud is trying to be that teammate.
I think he's got it. I think we're all good here.
Yeah, I think last time by Jim was about 200ths of a second quicker than Gabe and Peter. But that just tells you as well, though, you cannot rest here. The pace that Gabe and Peter are setting is just, it's just brutal. I mean, they're, like I said, the pit stop was another great pit stop. They were able to drop Jason Bogart. Speaking of Jason, he's just about to get swallowed up by that second pack here. You also see Hondo's now in that pack as well as DL Lemon. So they're about to have a 6-truck pack, which is great for the numbers. I don't think the lap times are still there, though, compared to this pack here. Whoa. And actually a little surprise here. I see Gabe Butler dropping back here. He's actually not sure if this is a fuel strategy situation or maybe just wanting to kind of back it down a little bit himself. But he's going to do the same thing now because he's dropped about 4/10 off of Jim Brooks. So he's going to hope that he doesn't fall off.
It is a fuel thing. Look at it.
Yeah, here comes Peter. Peter's jumping up top. So, so we're going to have to watch fuel. Looks like these guys maybe not feeling the most confident. Say, hey, if we lead this whole time, we're not going to be able to make it to the end in one stop. So might now be a race of just running lap times and not running outright pace. But, I mean, Matt, look at the gap between them and Jason Bogart. They got almost 20 seconds of a lead. I think they're okay to back their pace down a little bit.
Yeah, I know it. Now I'm going to check lap times now. I bet you the pace is going to slow probably a ton now.
I'll say we'll pull up our last lap times here to see. And so, so it's a 48.22 for Jacob Lee, who's now our leader. Jason Bogart is actually 48.87. So they're still, even with everything going on, moving to the back and everything like that, they're still quicker than that second pack. And you can see that just that lap time. Everybody's in the 48, 49 second bracket. But again, I think you want to be in the, it looks like the low 48 second bracket. But again, you talk about the pace changing, though. the best lap from some of these guys were in the 46-second bracket, Matt. And now we're down into the 48s just because they know they don't need to go full tilt right now. They just need to make sure they can make it to the end on fuel. And again, 48.86 this time for Jacob. We got to wait a little while to get to the second pack here, which a little stagger. You want to get these guys lined up as best you can, ideally. Right now, Jason leading this pack. This time by, he's going to run a 48.35. So half a second quicker. So they are going the right way in this second pack here. But again, I mean, there's 20 seconds basically to gain.
It's a big gap.
But it has closed fairly significantly these past 2 laps. So it might be one of those risk versus rewards, or maybe you say, hey, you know what? We still can go 14 more laps roughly on fuel. If we can gain a second a lap, we could get to them. So maybe this is where Jason says, you know what, Hondo, just push me for all you're worth here. Let's take some risks. Let's try to close that gap. But again, though, they need to have more than these 2 trucks working together. They need to get better organized, and I think that's what Dean's trying to do now, as he's looking like he's going around DL11 to get that done. So we do have another pack here a little further back. You've got Jack Walls working with Seth and Patrick Gruber, Frank Ranger Jr. They're all together here as well. So basically we have 3 big packs of trucks at the moment. And again, 49.43 for Jacob Lee. That last lap at 48.59.
They have backed down their pace a ton.
Yeah, and I mean, if the guys that were going fast, I mean, I think this is the right call though for Jacob here, because he needs to make sure that he can go as far as he needs to go. Bud's obviously not going to force the issue, and because I mean, everybody's going to see what the other one's doing and say, "Oh, I know why that's happening," and so they're gonna back down.
They ain't playing their games. And I totally agree with Jacob's doing. It's wow. It's
if you want to win the race, usually cutting a pit stop out is a good way to win a race. So
yes,
I think this is definitely the right call for these guys.
Gael, they were a second and a half faster than the lead group.
Yeah, remember we were talking about 20 seconds 2 laps ago, and it's inside 15 seconds and shrinking more, and it's shrinking fast. They've got a setup right now. Jason, Hondo, Dean Wilkinson, these guys got a nice little train going right here, because it was a 47.93 for Dean Wilkinson, who's that the third truck in this train. 48.08 for Jason Bogart leading the pack, but like you said, 49.67 this time for Jacob Lee. Let's focus on Jason here again. This time around, it was a 47.67, 2 seconds faster that last lap. They're inside now 14 seconds. So this is what they got to do. They got to stay aggressive. They got to push. What a lap. If they can get there, I mean, again, they can work on saving at the last round of the race. If they have to pit a lap earlier, okay, fine, I'll save at the very end. So no, this is looking good here. We might be getting 10 trucks back into this pack here.
I think that's the fastest lap that Jason Bogart has ran today. He ran a 47.6, as our leaders have ran. Actually, they just crossed the line at a 49.77. I'm curious what it is this time by. It's a 47.88. Now we are down to 12 and a half seconds, Kyle.
And again, we still have about 10 more laps until they have to hit pit road. So they're getting to where they can get there. They can see them. And gotta wish Miss Mama Groover a good evening. And yeah, unfortunately, there's a couple big ones early and often, and unfortunately, the boys were part of it. They're trying to do their best to make the best of a bad situation, but just right now, everything's kind of spread out to be more of a single file event right now. So it's kind of gone clean and green since then, but still plenty of time to go here. Over 29 laps to go in this one. So definitely don't count that out. If they can get a yellow, they're going to do everything in their power to get there. Man, Matt, 50 seconds that last time by for the leaders, 50.83. And then the second pack by Jason, a 47.99. So another 2 seconds. I mean, they're down into under 10 seconds now.
That's crazy. Speaking of your boys, they just came off pit road and they're just entering back on the track right now.
Yep, and so they're going to need one more pit stop to the end, unfortunately, with what their strategy was. They were trying to limp the damage, but they said, you know what, we got to do this. But I got to applaud this pack right here, though. Jason and Hondo, Dean, and company, these guys are doing a really good job and basically just not giving up. So, you know what? Yeah, it's not ideal where we're at, but we're going to push.
They're looking, they can see them now.
And that's just going to make him even more intrigued and more excited to try to push here. Because, again, I mean, look at these gaps between the 21, the 6, the 51. Like, they're not pushing. And I don't think there's any urgency from Peter DeBorgia or Gabe Butler. And it might be because they say, hey, if we go green, it doesn't matter because we know we can go that extra lap over those other guys. We think that they can't go that extra lap. So we'll see. This is going to be fun. And that's going to be the question mark too, Matt, is going to be that last or this potentially last pit stop here. Again, I think it's got about 8 more laps till they come in. We'll just see when these guys all hit pit road. If they come in at lap 50, okay, we think they can make it. If it's lap 48, 49, maybe not able to make it happen. And let's say it's lap 51. Okay, they got a little bit of room to spare where they can maybe go full aggressive at the end.
Oh, Gael, I'm just like wincing in my chair. They're down to 6.5 seconds now.
Yeah, it's about to break the 5-second mark here. They're doing a really good job. A little bit of a spread up now, though. They kind of got separated there, it looks like, in 1-2. They're getting reorganized now. And like I said, Hondo's just pushing Jason for all he is worth here in that 10 truck. But yeah, no, they're doing a really good job. You see him fly by the backstretch right here. And yeah, we are inside 5 seconds now. Again, we were what, 20 seconds? A little moment there between Jim Brooks and Peter DeBorgia coming out of turn number 4 there. Jamie able to get back down there, but just again, I think, and also this is a long green run here. I'd say it's easy to kind of lose your focus at a track that's this big and this fast, where you might just kind of relax the wheel a little bit and you drift way too wide on the entry. But Matt, I'm telling you, man, I think 2 more laps and this pack is there.
Yes, they. Wow. The next question is fuel. Question mark.
Yeah, now it's just going to be it's going to be all about when do these guys pit, and that's my only concern. Is I mean, again, I think this is the right call for what you do. But yeah, I have a feeling that these trucks will probably have to pit at least 1 lap sooner than Jacob, Bud, Jim, Peter, and Gabe. So we'll have to keep an eye. But you can see, I mean, there they are. Here's the first pack. Here's the second pack. They can see them, and they're just on edge right now. They'll be able to start sniffing this draft here in just a moment too, because they're about 2 from Gabe to Jason. It's about 2 seconds now, and usually within about a second and a half, you start to sniff that draft. But at this point, I mean, you can call it. They're there. So that 5-truck breakaway is now going to be a 10-truck pack.
Yeah, I think they might start running their fastest laps of the race here.
Yeah, it is very possible here. And here they come. Here comes the second pack as well. And yeah, they're there. Say they've got the draft. I say you're right. I think Jason might get probably his fastest lap of the race this time by. But now the question is, do you take the momentum and do you keep going, or do you just throw anchor and try to then start going full fuel save here? I kind of feel like this might be where you try to get kind of re-save what you had burned. So you can see Jason I think he's rolling out the throttle here. And wasn't his fastest lap of the race. His fastest lap was a 46.57. However, yeah, he's gonna kind of weigh the anchor here. However, the truck that's not going to throw the anchor out, Honda Long, well, actually, as I say that, he's going to swing to the top here. I think he wants to make sure he's safely the last truck in the pack, maybe not risk getting involved in anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's the only car 1 lap down, and I'm not going to take that risk of getting hurt. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're the only truck in this lead pack a lap down, so just, yeah, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to back it down. He's going to cruise. So yeah, so big work there by that second pack to close that 20 seconds down into the draft. Again, everybody's looking at their field numbers in these top 5, and here comes DL Lemon. He could not go any further. He has to hit pit road with 24 to go. We know he cannot make it to the end, unfortunately. However, again, you never know if when late yellows could come out, and that could throw DL Lemon right back into the mix. So that's going to put now 9 trucks on the lead lap in this main pack here. And again, I think these guys are just going to be kind of right now just taking it easy. They don't need to push the issue. They don't want to push the envelope. They want to get to their field number. They want to get to lap 19 to go, 20 to go, somewhere in that range, lap 50, 51. I think that's our magic number here.
Ooh, man, I just, that feels concerning now.
Yeah, I honestly I thought they were good to go no matter what, but obviously it looks like that the fuel is tighter than what we were expecting because again, just the way the gap is kind of, or sorry, the pace has dropped. Kind of
Yes.
to me kind of says okay, there was more fuel concerns than we were initially expecting. So, and again, this might just be that way. These guys don't have to fight as hard. You see DL Lemon rolling out of pit road now, and just won't quite be quick enough to be able to hold on to the draft. That would have been huge if he could have at least stayed in their main draft there, but unfortunately he will not.
Moves are being made.
Yep, here we go. I think that's Peter and Gabe saying, you know what, we got the fuel now we got our fuel window. We know we have enough to make it to the one stop, so we're going to get back to the front. We want to pit from the front. We don't want to be pitting from fourth. Oh, here comes Jacob Lee. Actually, he's going to be the first to hit pit road. Hondo Longmire is going to jump in with him. This is coming at 22 to go, now 21 to go at the line. And so, yeah, I think that's probably a lap short for Jacob. We'll see because he did lead a lot of that run there. But you see Peter and Gabe, though, back to the front. It's kind of back the way it was here before everything went pretty wild there. But I got to say, though, I mean, Jason Bogart, he's still going. Dean Wilkinson, Todd Siebels, there's Bob Fitzgerald. They're still here. They're still rolling. So they might have the fuel.
Yeah, I'm going to call Bogart's coming in this time. Because he was leading that pack.
That's a good point, yeah. So I would expect to see him, but I think he could probably make 20 to go. But he's going to want to have help if he comes in. And here comes three of them. And so, okay, so this is intriguing here. Here comes Bud Steele. Jim coming in hot. Hopefully gets it back down in time. We'll have to wait and see how the pit stops look. But Gabe and Peter, so this is their strategy. They went long.
Speeding penalty. Jim Brooks got caught speeding.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty hot entry, unfortunately, for Jim. So he's going to go down an extra lap here, unfortunately, with that. As you see the 17 truck rolling out of pit road of Frank Ranger Jr. Now we're going to see, again, now what these guys need to do is they need to get in and out together as organized as possible. The 6, the 45, Bud's going to have too big of a gap, I feel like, here. So you're going to have two of them coming out together. And then these three will come out fairly well together. Here comes Peter DeBorgia and Gabe Butler. They're going to jump in now. They're going to hustle it in as well. But again, they got to make sure they do not speed. And I'm looking good here. I think they got down okay, it looks like. So right now, Bud's still building up speed on his pit exit, as is the 10. And then you got Todd Siebels, Dean Wilkinson, Bob Fitzgerald. I think we'll stay locked on pretty well together. And then here comes Jacob Lee. He's going to tag on to these guys here, Matt. So he's going to still at least have some draft. The question is going to be his fuel.
Yeah, that's a big kicker. So, wow, look how far apart these guys are.
Yeah, they got to get reorganized here because you see Jacob Lee, he's just able to pick him off easily right now. You see Jim rolling out of pit road now. Here goes the 88 and the 40, and you see they come out right together. Perfect formation. And this is with 19 to go, so feel comfortable on fuel for them. Now we'll jump to Bud Steele. He just crossed the start-finish line. But again, Bud's been running this whole lap here pretty much solo. This might be a breakaway here for those top two. We'll have to wait and see here. He is about to get Jason Bogart to help, but he's going to need to have the rest of them, Todd Siebels, Dean Wilkinson, Jacob Lee. He's going to need them all to come back on, but because right now here's the leaders. Let's look off the back of Peter DeBorgia's Extra Life truck, and you can see I think he's going to get there, Matt. It's about 1.5 and shrinking pretty quick here. I think Bud is going to get there. The question again is it's going to be the fuel mileage, I think. Now, did that one lap earlier pit stop, does that put the 6, the 10, the 45, does that put him in fuel mileage issues?
He's got Bogart pushing Bud there. I'm looking back and see how far back Todd Siebels, and Dean Wilkinson, they have latched on to the back of the bumper. Now is a 4-car breakaway, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to be tight for Jacob. Jacob might get to him.
Right on the borderline. I think he's okay. I'm looking at his speed right now, about 230. Yeah, he's latched on.
The heartbreaker is going to be right now is Bob Fitzgerald did not get back up to those guys, so he's fallen off this main pack. So it's going to be right now, tentatively, 7 trucks here that are in contention for the win. I'm going to say I think Jacob Lee here, he's just got to go full fuel save now. I think the 21 truck just needs to save every drop of fuel. See if he can find a way to run 21 laps on fuel on this truck and the stint here to the end. So now it's all about kind of organization here. I mean, again, I don't see the 88 and the 40. I think they're going to stay formation and try to make sure one of the two of them wins this race. Todd Siebels, Dean Wilkinson, I see those two working together as well. And I think kind of just by the way this race has gone, it seems like Bud Steele and Jason Bogart, they've kind of gotten on together here, started working well together with them. So I could see those two kind of staying attached here and maybe trying to work together as well. So I think that's going to be the pairs, I think, is the 88, the 40, the 6, and the 10, the 45, and the 55. And it just, I think, kind of leaves the 21 as the odd man out. But I think, again, for Jacob, I think for him, all he's trying to do is just, he doesn't care about that right now. I think he just wants to make sure he can make it.
Yeah, he's already got a win in his back pocket. There's no reason really to, push the issue. Just, if he gets a yellow, I mean, that's great for him. But right now, it's just all about fuel saving for him. I do see some lap traffic coming up that may play a factor here with Frank Ranger Jr. and unfortunately, there's Jim Brooks, who's
these guys
on the tail end.
Jim's trying to stay on the lead lap here. Frank right now is the second truck one lap down he's two down. I'm sorry, in the 17. And then we go back to another pack here being led by Jack Walls. He's got the Groovers behind him. I think they need to pit in about 5 more laps, is about as far as they can go. But they've also got DLM in there now, Bob Fitzgerald as well as Honda Longmire's in that pack as well. So lap time wise, though, they're not as quick as the leaders. Again, I think these guys did their fuel saving on that last run. That way they can go full aggressive on this run here.
Kind of look and see where. Okay, they're going to run high. Okay.
Yeah, so again, this is usually the kind of the respect we're used to seeing out of this league is, even though they want to get up there and they want to fight for the win, they're gonna more often than not, you'll see these guys they'll roll out of the way. You'll see Jim here; he's going to try to cut down here and try to tag onto the back of this draft again because now he wants to make sure he doesn't lose that draft, stay the first truck one lap down, but also again. This now is kind of an added bonus potentially for Bud Steele. This could be like, oh, hey, all right, if you can get to me, Jim, give me all the push you can get. And we could see a lap truck play a role in this. We've seen it before where teammates try to help each other even if they're trapped a lap down. And I think that's the right thing to do. I mean, there's no rules against it. And I think, if you can help somebody to try to get the win by pushing them, obviously do it safely and not trying to wreck anybody or anything like that, then, I think by all means that's the way to go.
Still single file. I really don't think any moves are going to be made here early. Still way too early.
No, I think these guys are going to stay kind of formation here until probably again. Remember, I think it was last week, right, Matt, where they wrecked just coming to the white flag, so they had to then have a late restart. Again, I think you want to keep it amongst yourselves. So I don't think you want to make any dangerous move until I would say probably I think until maybe coming out of 4, if you can get a clean run to make a charge. I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to go until probably about 2 to go. And again, as well, Bud and Jason company, even though they pitted at lap 50. Gabe and Peter, they pitted at 51, so they're 1 lap better on fuel. So maybe just keep saving fuel on these guys. That way you absolutely know you can make it to the end on scheduled distance.
Here's another, interesting fact that something may happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but if Seth and Patrick pit, will they stay on the lead lap?
I believe
if it's really
they
close
would.
On fuel?
I think, actually, let's see. What are they? 10 seconds back. It would be tight. I think they would still get trapped a lap down. And actually, as you say that here, they all come in pit road. So we're going to find out in about a lap's time here, Matt. But I
Yeah,
believe they would fall. I think they'll still get knocked a lap down.
Yeah, if they fill their fuel cell up pretty good and they catch a caution, boom, the front might have to pit, and they would stay out and be up in the front of the lead. I'm just saying, I'm not jinxing anything.
Yeah, I'm not commentators cursing things, guys.
Yeah,
as I say, commentators curse type things.
Yeah, I usually do. I'm the king of that.
But and you're exactly right though. This could be very intriguing, and I mean, and it could be a situation where just it stays. And here they go, they just rolled out. So they will get trapped a lap down, unfortunately. Great pit stop though for the who was at the 32. He got out there real quick there. Actually, he had a 5-second stop. Everybody else was about 8 to 9 seconds. So he was hustling that thing in and out of pit road. Won't gain him anything, unfortunately, because he's just going to wait for him to catch back up. But yeah, we're down to it here, Matt. 10 to go. Again, we have potentially 7 trucks in it to have a chance to win this race here tonight. So just now we got to wait and see. Will it be one of these top 2 boot knocker trucks? Will it be one of the Roswell teams there with the 6 truck? Do we see Jason Bogart get a win here tonight, or could it be one of the TW Motorsports trucks of Todd Siebels or Dean Wilkinson?
Oh boy. As you can see, you can see the formations are forming of the 2x2. Who are you going to run with?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sitting here looking at it.
And then if Eric Laurie, if he can stay in this draft, if he's got enough damage repairs where he can hold the draft, he could also maybe play a role where maybe he can try to help to be that 3rd truck for his boot knocker teammates. I don't know if he'll have enough pace still in that truck. I say again, I still got to say, though, hats off to Eric, though, for just sticking this thing out and still trying to finish up this race despite having a tough one tonight. I love the dedication. I say, and Eric's one of those guys. I mean, if there's a race and he's got 4 wheels still in his truck, he's gonna still race. That's just his personality, and that's what I love to see out of those guys. And definitely one of those fun things you see out of them. And Eric is definitely one of those, no exception.
I know I'm gonna say this over and over again, but I seen finish 3rd place with a front clip on the car.
That's right. I do remember that race as well, where he was able to somehow hold the draft, and it wasn't just like a quick yellow thing. It was he held the front and was able to keep it lined up. And Todd Siebel's way up top here, and is he trying to? No, because he was right behind Dean Wilkinson.
Was that
actually,
by design, or
I don't know. I think it might be, because I think Dean's jumped up now as well with him. I think there might be some organization starting to form here. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that they're going to give up these spots. But it's great news for Jim, though, because that's going to get Jim closer to Bud Steele. Maybe Jim can try to give him a little extra boost, as it looks like, the Groover's back on pit road here. Not sure, maybe pit penalties, or maybe they're just we'll see if they have to retire the trucks or not, but we'll keep an eye on them as well.
Factor just got a speeding penalty.
Oh yeah, so that'll do it. We got a rooting on Candy Corn over here. That is Import Logic.
Candy Corn.
So he is currently sitting in 12th, I believe. He is. Oh, he's actually no. I'm sorry. No, he's the 3rd truck one down as they run. But again, still plenty of time to go. But here comes TW here, Matt. They're not waiting till 2 to go, 1 to go. They want to get that track position now. They're jumping up top here. Now the question will be, do they bring anybody with them? Does maybe Jim say, all right, I'm going to try to help you guys out? Do we see Jacob Lee maybe still consider if he has the fuel? Can he jump with them?
No,
but right now, or does maybe Bud Steele say, all right, I want to jump in front of them. I want TW to push me. So it's starting to kick off here. Say we still got 6 to go. So, but yeah, say the moves are starting to be made here just a little early.
Yeah, they kind of want to put themselves in position. So I don't think it's really going to work out with 2 trucks. So they're going to need a 3rd. And it's really difficult for them to try and make moves, but I don't think anybody else is going to go with them.
Yeah, so far it's pretty much stayed committed, but they have moved themselves up into that top 5 mix. They're just alongside, I believe that is Jason Bogart, right up alongside him. And I say, and again, they're playing nice right now. You can see they're giving themselves probably about a groove and a half to be able to kind of wash up if they need to. But the other thing is they should get pretty good exit speed off of these turns because of the fact that they don't have to keep the truck pinched down as tight as the inside line has to. So I am a little surprised that Jim hasn't maybe gone up there and tried to help those guys out yet. I still think he might be one that would like to work with them. So I know Jim's worked with Todd and Dean plenty, so he knows those guys really well. Bud knows them really well. Say they're all kind of some of the founding members of Area 51, but so far staying put. Eric Laurie actually was on and now coming, as you see, coming off Hero, so he will not play a role in the pushing for the end of this race. But man, Peter is just pushing Gabe for all he's worth right now.
Yeah. Man, I'm just waiting for Jim to jump up to the top.
There he goes.
There you go. There I say no more.
And there they drop back down. So I think what's happening here is this is where Dean and Todd are going to try to kind of regroup, build some momentum back up, and then make that next charge here to try to make a charge to the front. 4 to go here. Coming to the line here will be at 3 to go. Again, I'm watching Bud. I'm watching Jason Bogart. I think those two will work together. I think at this point they're going to say, okay, we got to try to do something here. But again, for me, I would expect to see it most likely either coming to the white or on the white, because again, I think you really want to build a big head of steam on these guys, because again, these guys are going 230 plus, and I see
that's what Bud's doing now.
I think that's what he's rolling back. I think this might be trying to make that charge here.
No, he's holding stationary. I thought he might make that move there. I think 2 to go is when you really want to start making your move.
And I think it depends as well. If you're where Bud is, you can afford to wait a little later. But if you're Dean Wilkinson, Todd Siebels, Jacob Lee, you got to go sooner, because you've got to pass more trucks. Whereas, I mean, again, Peter's going to stay committed to Gabe. That's kind of just a guarantee. And again, that's just kind of the teamwork and the situation too. Gabe's running the full season. He's going to be going for the championship. Peter, he basically races when he's able to. He's got a lot of stuff going on his plate. So when he's able to make it, he does. And so he definitely shows that you kind of are happy that he's not running the full schedule basically. But so they've been both wonderful people too. So we're 2 to go, Matt. No moves being made yet. You see Todd's peak, and I think trying to maybe hint at Dean, say, hey, I'm ready to go when you are. But I think it is going to be either coming right here we'll see if they make a move out of 4.
Right, this has got to be it here.
It might just be one of those, you know what? I'm going to make a late move. I'm going to wait till out of turn number 4, try to get that charge. But look at Peter. He is locked on to Gabe here. And we have 1 to go here. We will run the 70 laps, no extra overtime, green-white checkers tonight. Will it be Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia? Can they pull off a 1-2? Will Bud Steele get the push from Jason Bogart? Can Jacob Lee do anything? Can TW Motorsports make a push? We'll see here. He's come down the back final time. Here goes Jacob Lee. Here goes the block by Jason Bogart. He's going to move to the top here, Matt.
Wow, there's the push by Jacob Lee. I don't think it's going to have enough momentum.
Oh, a little bobble by Bud Steele here. He's going to try to see if he can do something. He's got Dean Wilkinson right behind him. Everybody's trying to get organized, but everybody's splitting up too much.
Ooh, Dean Wilkinson, he snuck in there for the third place finish.
Yeah, you're right. Dean Wilkinson grabs third. Unfortunately, got a little damage out of it there. You see the left front fender there a little crumpled, but so he wants to chat with us, so he's going to work that one. But it's going to be Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia getting the 1-2 here tonight, and did a great job. Again, they went that 1 extra lap. I think that gave them that little extra bit on fuel. But let's go back here. Let's watch Dean Wilkinson here coming out of 4, because you see here, he's sitting in about 5th place here out of 4 there. You see Bud Steele, you see Jason Bogart there. And so everybody kind of starts jumping around. Oh, actually, I think the 21 starts sputtering here at the end. Look at the 21 really start to fall off pace there. But then, you see here the 55 and the 6 side by side here at the line. And then, actually, I'm trying to see how Dean got the damage. It must have been from after the fact. And then, I think Dean I think Dean sputtered right at the line as well, potentially. And it's actually his teammate there, Todd Siebels, that got into the back of him. There goes that left front fender. So that was where Dean got that one. Not what he was hoping for, probably, but we'll jump back live here and find our race winner here, Gabe Butler, because he's going to do some celebrating if he's got the fuel to do it. But I think he might be out of fuel as well. But that is our race winner tonight. And he's rolling a little bit. He's thinking about it. But we're gonna go chat with some. There's the burnout. All right, we'll watch our race winner here celebrate the big win here tonight at iRacing Superspeedway. Gabe Butler getting that win. And actually, while we watch him celebrate, we'll pull up that final results as well, Matt. We'll knock that one out now.
Mm-hmm.
As we pull up those results, Gabe Butler getting the win over Peter DeBorgia. Then you got Dean Wilkinson, Bud Steele, and Jason Bogart, our top 5. Todd Siebels, Jacob Lee, our lead lap finishers. Jim Brooks does finish first, truck 1 down in 8th. DL Lemon, Jack Walls rounds out our top 10. And then you got Bob Fitzgerald, Hondo Longmire, Frank Ranger Jr., Seth and Patrick Gruber, 14th and 15th. Eric Laurie, Austin Call, Nick Wing in 18th. And unfortunately, you can see some of these guys had early retirements from the event. And then you see Nathan Warner and Rick Sanchez, unfortunately, our final 2 finishers here tonight. Matt scored 21st, but we don't count that. So with that, let's go back. We're going to chat with some drivers, and we're going to first start off with our 3rd place runner here, and that is going to be Dean Wilkinson. We give him a little bit of love on that one as well here. So we're going to drag Dean on in over here for that 3rd place position. And Dean, you were probably about 5th there coming out of turn 4, but hugged the bottom, got help from Todd Siebels behind you, able to grab 3rd, but then unfortunately at the end there, kind of lost your left front fender. I mean, did you have literally like just the perfect amount of fuel there to the end?
No, I did a bonus. I honestly, I was trying to get behind Bud to get him up to the 3rd place. When I looked to my right, there was no way I was getting behind him. So I hit the brake there at the last second. Dumb bonehead move.
Well, I say, I guess if you don't want to talk to me, it's okay. You just let me know. It's all right, Dean. I don't want to like make you be stuck with me if you don't want to chat. But
oh, it's all good. I love these little chit chats.
Oh no, I'm just giving you a hard time. But I gotta give you a shout out too, because this is a great looking paint scheme. This Cheerwine Ford F-150 that you've put together here tonight. And it's saying for me too, the shine on the 55 and as well as the chrome section right behind us. That's a really good looking paint scheme. You've been having some nice ones here lately.
Well, thank you very much. I've been enjoying tinkering around in that trading paints.
All right, so then kind of tale of 2 races tonight. I say we had a really big one early, and then another fairly large incident right afterwards, and then from there, caution free to the end, and then fuel mileage comes into play. But the main, I think, story for you is you guys are about 20 seconds down. The lead pack starts watching their fuel mileage. They back it way down, but you guys are able to kind of stay locked on, push to the front there, get to the lead pack, and then be able to back the pace down to kind of get the fuel back into contention there. I mean, how stressful was it to be, okay, well, let's just go for it, because even if we can't make it to the end, let's at least give ourselves a chance for a yellow or something like that. I mean, what was the thought process with you and Todd and company to make that big charge there prior to the last pit stop?
Well, near the end there, I was worried about fuel. Todd wasn't. He kept egging me on, go around them. So I did, and we just didn't have the umph to get, past that bottom line, just the 2 of us. And all of a sudden I'm looking at my fuel. I'm like, oh crap, I got to get back in line because I am going to be close. And I was, and I probably had another half lap, which, but if I'd stuck out there for another 2 laps fighting it, I'm sure it would have been a problem for fuel. But anyway, that was fun at the end.
You ran the numbers to perfection. We've got one more to go after tonight before we hit the 4-race playoff. I mean, are you thinking about that, or do you just take the stuff one by one now and just kind of take each race as they come?
Oh, exactly. Just one by one. I mean, I don't know where I'm at the standings, but how many drivers make it to the playoffs?
I believe we're going to be going with 16, so you're going to have a pretty crowded field here tonight, or I should say in the playoffs. And I think right now, Dean, you're sitting in 12th. You're going to jump up, I think, after tonight's result for sure. So I think you're looking pretty comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, my goal is just, top 10 every time. I'm happy if I get a top 10, not wreck or, just enjoy the racing.
Dean, what a move, brother. I commend that little third place snooker.
Oh, actually, though, no, you missed it, Matt. So that the contact at the end was Dean. He didn't want to talk to you, so he actually rolled the brake there, but he was just too fast, and so Bud couldn't get back by him. So he tried to avoid an interview, but that was just how fast he was tonight.
You caught me.
Come on.
I didn't want to speak to Matt. Sorry.
That's okay, dude. No, I'm cool with that.
But no, I mean,
I honestly I did feel bad about it. I thought I wanted to go behind Bud, but I just if I with Todd so close, and at the end I thought maybe if I just hit a little check, I'll get him a third place because I didn't really care. Third, fourth would have been fine for me.
yeah, no, I mean, and you're right though. I mean, there's times where you want to make that move to try to help somebody else, but you try to lock onto them, and it'll wind up sending them around or causing a caution, or well, not a caution in this case, but affecting your Bud's fourth place in this case. So, yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, oh man, if this, then maybe we could have done this, but either way though, I mean, it's still, like I said, a great job though tonight for you, Dean. Definitely don't want to hold your head down on not finishing fourth instead of third, and looking forward to see what you got for the rest of the season and then the playoffs, man. But definitely want to give you the floor here for any thanks and shout outs for that result tonight.
Well, I just want to congratulate Gabe for another win. I thank Todd for the push at the end. He was my teammate tonight. It was good. And thank you guys for the broadcast. Area 51 for the league. It's always fun to race here. And again, can't have a good league without good drivers. So I always commend the drivers in this league. So thank you, drivers.
Great job tonight, Dean. Go enjoy this one, and look forward to seeing you again here soon, sir.
Thanks, Hale. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna grab now our runner-up tonight. Like I said, I think this was kind of, I think, the plan for this number 40 truck. And so he was complaining about the admin pre-race was just talking way too much. Now he's going to have to listen to someone else talk a whole bunch now as well. And that's going to be our runner-up here, Peter DeBorgia. I kind of figured you were probably just going to be locked to that bumper of Gabe Butler here at the end of that race, with you kind of running that part-time schedule, Gabe going full-time. But, I mean, I think you and Gabe are probably the only two trucks that didn't get involved in one of those two huge wrecks early on there. And then the big thing, I think, was you guys go all the way to lap 51 on fuel. I mean, take us through the strategy, because, I mean, you guys are leading, and then we see both you kind of throw the anchor, drop behind those guys, and then which brings 5 more trucks into the pack. But were you and Gabe just that confident in your tandem abilities to not be worried about having extra trucks in the pack?
I think we were just coming out of the pits on, I think it was lap 34, 35 or something, when like Sim Racer Apps immediately was like, hey, you could stop this if your best case scenario really unfolded the way you wanted it to. And immediately Gabe was going to the back, and then I went a lap later, and it was like, I think we really could do this. And we couldn't control what Jacob and Bud and Jim decided to do pace-wise. We were going to be kind of married to whatever they wanted to do speed-wise there. And we knew that we had pit the same lap as Jim and Bud, so we weren't really certain that we were going to save an extra lap on those guys. But we knew that pack that was coming was burning a whole lot of fuel. Like, it was cool that they ran us down, but they were going to need a caution regardless. And if they got a caution, they would get glued to our back bumpers that way too. So it really was not a concern that our pace was that slow. But yeah, the way it just unfolded, I know you said I was going to be glued to the back bumper. If everyone had run out of gas in the last lap, I don't think I would have been. I think we would have finished side by side and seen what would have happened. But, those guys did a great job saving fuel in the last stint with us. I wasn't sure they were going to be able to make it, especially Jacob. I think he pitted on lap 49, not even lap 50. So
yeah, Jake, I think he sputtered right at the very end too, but he still made it to the end.
Yeah, that was the real close one. I was like, someone's going to run out there, right? And then they made it. So they definitely did an excellent job. And this track's tough, and your pre-race speech, although I gave you a hard time in text, it was obviously important. Like, there was clearly a lot of issues with line holding or apron hitting there and stuff. It just, and myself included when I was leading a little bit, and the car requires some adjustments there, and you guys put a good setup out there. And if people are really practicing their pit entries and dialing in the layout of their car and exactly where they can go to before they touch the yellow, it gets a whole lot harder when all of a sudden there's a giant spoiler in front of your windshield too. So I know we were a little rocky at the beginning, but that giant green flag run at the end, that came from a lot of talented drivers putting in hard work.
No, it was, yeah. I mean, obviously, kind of a tale of two races there, but like I said, you and Gabe were able to stay in front of most of that chaos. But
I don't
yeah,
know what's on the screen right now. Are you still sitting me at the start finish line, or are you just doing some slow motion?
I'm doing some
action
slow
shot?
motion action
Oh,
here.
because I save fuel. I can still do a
God,
donut
here
here
we go.
on the front stretch.
Oh, yeah, you did some
So
good fuel
I figured
saving.
everybody
there.
else is out, so why not? I'm just burn it all down right here if I want.
Let's jump back live here. Then we'll focus on this.
Oh,
Peter
never mind.
Dvorak.
It's out now. Oh, no, it's sputtering. We can. I was gonna destroy it now. I guess.
No,
Light it
poor
all up.
truck. But no, so I mean, a great job tonight, and say so. Obviously, I kind of gave you a shout out with what you do on the side. Obviously, some great paint schemes on there, and obviously on the hood of your truck there with the Extra Life. So I saw the 15 years. So is that 15 years of Extra Life, or is that 15 years that you've been supporting
that's the Extra
them,
Life logo. I haven't done it that many years. I'm only 4 years in. But 17, and then 21, 22, 23. But there's a chance if we have a good year, we could break $10,000 cumulative dollars raised for Children's Miracle Network. We're close. I think that's that'd be a pretty lofty goal to get there this year. Might have to wait till next year, but we're over $1,000 raised on my page right now. Game day is 12 or 13 days from now, so November 4th is that, or November 5th, whichever one the Saturday is. I'll be streaming 24 hours on my channel, twitch.tv/MixmasterPJ, raising money and trying to help out Johns Hopkins Children's Center. That's the local Children's Miracle Network hospital to me. But that's Extra Life Foundation is just kind of put forward. Some people are a little bit more athletic and they'll run like marathons to raise funds for charity and stuff like that. And that ain't me. I can play video games for a long time. That's my marathon. So I'll stream this long instead, and people very generously will donate to such an awesome cause there. And you can check the link that I put in YouTube chat there. And whether or not you want to donate, that's fine. If you want to read more about it and participate yourself, I think all gamers, would find some sort of reward here that would be fun and exciting to them, and maybe support a hospital that's close to them or has been really helpful for a loved one or someone they know. So thank you for giving me the platform to talk about it, because it's very meaningful to me.
No, I say you're one of you and Josh Cox are two guys I know that kind of got me into it, and I love what you do. I say Matt and I were talking about. He's got a new paint scheme that he's not going to say anything about yet because he doesn't want to share it yet before it gets officially released. And then that's so basically all you ask for is donations to Extra Life. You don't keep anything in your pocket. And it's amazing what you do, Peter, and I definitely want to commend you for your selfless acts. It's really cool what you're able to do, man. And I'll definitely be watching and supporting you on November 4th. And I think I've pretty much given you all the thanks to shouts, but I'm going to give you the formal here official thanks and shouts though for your runner up here tonight.
Yeah. Thanks to Gabe for running with me, and Eric as well. I know he had a difficult night, but we run together a few nights a week, obviously. And thank you guys for putting on the league. I know ISS isn't the most exciting track to get all the drivers out here for, so thank them for coming out and showing up too. Hey, we only had 25 or so. I like ISS to have fun with.
ISS. This is what I kind of wanted to drive this track. I really did.
I don't know why you didn't drive and broadcast. I felt like you could have really added extra insight to what's going on.
I can't do that. I don't think my broadcast partner would appreciate that.
I mean, you could have just spoke about yourself in the third person the whole time. Too.
No,
Matt Wagner did a great job here in the back.
Wagner in the booth. And Matt Wagner in the back.
Hey, Matt. Good talk. Hello. Hi.
Awesome.
Great job tonight, Peter, man. It's always a pleasure having you on track, and of course getting those interviews with you, because you're always a lot of fun. Like I said, and love the work you do, and so you've kind of made me step up my painting game as well. So it's a lot of fun, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys, and thank you, Matt, for the donation.
Oh yeah. 100 bones headed your way, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we got to chat with some other driver. I heard some guy won the race or something like that, so I figure we should probably talk to him tonight. And that is going to be Gabe Butler getting the win here tonight. And Gabe, I mean, pretty much most of the race, you had everything out the back of your mirror, I think, was what you had to worry about for this evening, because it seemed like most of the craziness, especially at the very beginning, was behind you until fuel saving came up at the end of the race, where you and Peter kind of backed it down, saved actually 2 laps, it felt like, of fuel, and then from there you guys were able to stay kind of just lock solid. And I mean, it felt like you guys were kind of driving one truck the way you guys were so lined up with each other that whole last run.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. I mean, just some unfortunate incidents there at the beginning. Basically, the cautions turned it into Kevin Free's favorite type of race, a fuel mileage race. But like you said, yeah, we were way off when we were out front, and we figured, well, we better get back in line, and we were able to save an absolute ton of fuel and go that extra lap. I was really surprised the likes of Bud and I think it was Jason maybe. Those guys, I'm surprised they made it to the start-finish line. We honestly thought they'd be running out, coming out of 4, but overall it worked out. So we'll take it.
Did you have any concerns that Peter might try to sneak one on you there out of 4, maybe try to pull something off, or did you feel pretty confident he was going to stay with you, just with the kind of the part-time versus full-time, or did you guys talk about that at all at the end?
Well, if he wants any donations to Extra Life for the Children's Miracle Network, he knows better. So
I love it.
No, he didn't really talk about it. He kidded about it at one point, and he says, should I pull out? And he just stayed in line, which is fine, So, but it was excellent working with Peter as usual. And unfortunately, Eric had a bit of bad luck again tonight, but Peter stuck with me. We were able to nail our pit stops and save fuel and stay together, and we're able to pull it off 1-2. So that was a pretty good night overall. And both of us, I believe, had 0 incident points, which to me, I get more of a kick out of that than I do winning.
Yeah, so that's all, and that's Matt and I were talking about that. We figured it kind of felt like the incident points or incident-free race, I should say, was pretty much gone for most drivers after those first 2 yellows. And yeah, it actually looks like just 3 of you able to be incident-free tonight: yourself, Peter, and then Jacob Lee in the 21. So, just great job tonight, man. 2 wins in a row, obviously coming up to. So we'll be off next week for kind of the Halloween break before we get to our last regular season at Talladega, and then we kick off the playoffs. So, I mean, I'm sure you'd like a regular season, because right now you've got a 41-point lead over second place. I mean, you've just been having a huge regular season, even though just the 2 wins. But with the 1 drop week right now, you've got 6 top 10s out of your 7 starts, and then 4 top 5s. So, I mean, you've been very consistent this season. I mean, do you change anything going into playoffs, or kind of just do what's been getting you there?
No, just keep it the same. I mean, I've messed around in playoffs before where I've said, I'll get more aggressive or I'll be less aggressive. And, this time I'm just race the way I race normally. And, hopefully it'll continue to work out. But you never know. It's super speedways. As you well know, anything can happen at any second in the blink of an eye. So, we'll just try and not overcomplicate stuff and just keep going to where we're going.
Yeah, it was a great job tonight, man. So before I let you go, definitely want to give you the floor for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that win here tonight.
Well, obviously, Peter there for doing a great job sticking with me the whole night. And, of course, you were running with Eric. Like I said earlier, he had some really bad luck tonight. And Area 51 for putting this league on. It's always enjoyed it from day one, and it's a blast. And, of course, you guys up in the boot, you and Matt. Fantastic job as usual, I'm sure, and always look forward to watching it afterwards while laying in bed. And, quick reminder, I think Peter just posted in YouTube chat there his link to his Extra Life. He's got that. Yep. It really is a great cause. I mean, the title says it all, Extra Life, and then Children's Miracle Network. I mean, what more do you want, I've donated a little bit here and there over the years, and I'll continue to do so. And he puts in the work for it. He deserves it. The kids deserve it. So any little bit at all, goes a long way. So great cause.
Yeah, and a lot of times you get a really good looking paint scheme out of it too. So can't go wrong there either.
Cannot go wrong there either.
All right, well, great job tonight, Gabe. Go enjoy this one, man. And like I said, well earned, well deserved, and looking forward to seeing you again here soon.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
You too, man.
All right, Matt, that is our race winner in that number 88 of Gabe Butler getting the win here tonight at iRacing Superspeedway. So kind of that tale of 2 races, if you will, with the caution early. And then from there, these guys really kind of, like I said, kind of turned into that fuel mileage race, like you jokingly said Kevin Free is always the big fan of. So, but yeah, I'd say next week we're off Halloween break. So definitely enjoy that for those that are able to maybe have some Halloween parties or whatever. So enjoy it.
Candy corn.
Say get some candy corn courtesy of Honda Longmire. And then I say maybe I said there might be a fun race or something with Area 51. So keep an eye out on the Discord for those that want to race. They might have something set up here. Won't be broadcasted. However, we will be back in 1 week's time after that. But we will be broadcasting again on Thursday night for the Xfinity Series, as well here at iRacing Superspeedway. Tuesday night, the Dallara IR18s will be racing as well. Not broadcasted, unfortunately, due to contractual obligations, restrictions, whatever you want to call them. But Matt,
we're at Michigan.
Oh, that's gonna be a blast. That's a great track. So for those that have run them, be there on Tuesday. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But Matt, as always, sir, it's a pleasure doing these with you. Looking forward to seeing your new Peter DeBorgia special paint scheme. I'll say to everybody watching that supports us on Green White Checkered TV, thank you so much for your support, for your chatting with us. It means a lot. It makes it a lot more fun for us as well. So until next time, as always, if you can, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on Thursday night. Until then, have a good night.